Ai Shemai, and good day to you. Elden Ring is probably my most played game, bar The Binding of Isaac, so when I found out there was going to be a roguelike version of Elden Ring in the form of Nightreign, I went from hesitant on getting it to being consumed by the game for the next 2 months. The premise is simple: survive 2 days while making yourself as strong as possible, then defeating the final boss waiting for you. Simple, right? So I decided to platinum the game, which humbled me quickly. Also, I just want to take a quick moment to thank everyone who's come to the channel recently after the Fear and Hunger Termina video. The response for that was insane, and I appreciate you all tremendously. I'm currently working on getting a similar video done for you in the form of Fear and Hunger, the first one, along with some other long-form content that I hope you enjoy. Also, I'm currently dying from the flu, in case I sound dead throughout this video. But anyway, with my British complaining out of the way, let's jump into the video. Woo! When loading up the game, we start off in a tutorial that shows us the main mechanics. At the end of this, we are jump scared by Margit the Fell Omen. After a few seconds, we gracefully go down and lose the fight. We then, learning from what we are up against, storm back into the battle and lose. At this point, I'm not very good at this game. We then get flashbanged by the cutscene and end up at the round table, where we pop our first trophy, the Shrouded Round Table Hold, for reaching this area. This is where the actual game begins, so here's a quick rundown on our available characters at this point, just to give you an idea in case you haven't played the game before. First we have Wilder, aka John Nightreign, prefers greatswords, passive ability Sixth Sense allows you to cheat death on a single time, character skill Claw Shot launches a grappling claw to rope in or move swiftly to foes, and the ultimate Onslaught Stake, which is a big ol' explosion. Guardian, aka Big Bird, prefers halberds, passive gives a stronger shield stance, skill creates a mini tornado, and ultimate lets you nosedive to the ground to protect your teammates. I, aka Medieval Sniper, prefers bows, passive allows to discover more items from foes, skill AC/DC power slides into enemies with a dagger, making them weaker, and ultimate fires a giant arrow that breaks the sound barrier. Raider, aka Big Chungus, prefers great axes, great hammers, colossal weapons. Passive allows him to boost his retaliation when being hit. Character skill pummels the enemy, and ult creates a giant rock spawning from the ground, usually getting in the way of everyone's attacks. Recluse, aka Goth Rani, has no weapon preference. Passive allows affinity residue to replenish FP. Skill collects the residue to make delicious cocktails to throw at the enemy. And the ultimate makes her burst into a song, allowing hits on nearby enemies to give health and magic back. And lastly, the Executor, Sekiro, who prefers katanas. Passive gives a boost after recovering from status elements. Skill switches to a cursed sword, which changes the game to a Sekiro playstyle, and the ult turns you into a giant doggo to get some crowd control going. Got all that? Okay, good. After a failed attempt with some random players, we are rewarded with relics, which give the character different buffs and abilities, and after equipping some of these relics, we get the trophy, Relic. So I teamed up with my friend Circumference and decided to use the Recluse, which throughout this run had no idea how to get FP back with the cocktail skill and played completely wrong. We went for the three-headed doggo expedition and immediately wiped out the local village for an easy level. This is something we always start the match with, so it won't be mentioned again. I'm new to spells, it's my first day in Hogwarts, you know. After running out of FP in the basement while fighting the grafted abomination, I then panicked and grabbed the closest sword I could find, to then be nearly one-shotted. I then rewarded myself with what every magic user needs, a giant tower shield. Go, why am I like this? Ha! Oh! Ha! Ha! Okay, alright, I've learned my lesson. Greed. We made our way to the boss for day 1, the bell-bearing hunter, and after once again running out of FP, somehow convinced myself that the cocktail move was a taunt, as I was holding it too long, thus doing nothing. This is why you should read what your character does. My friends then carried me through the fight, and we moved on to day 2. Battle Mage. Day 2 consisted mainly on grabbing flask upgrades and taking down field bosses, and after spending an embarrassingly long time trying to find the cave entrance, I was given a reminder why I hate the draconic tree sentinel so much. What? After running out of FP before the day 2 final boss, Margit decided to show up for a rematch from the tutorial. But this time I was prepared with a tower shield. and after a painfully long fight doing chip damage, we finally beat Night 2. This gave us our last flask upgrade, giving us the trophy Replenished Sacred Flasks. This maneuver strikes around with lightning. What's this? Acquired a great number of flask charges. See, I'm not that bad. Day 3 we upgraded ourselves to level 9 and spent the rest of our runes on Starlight Shards, then headed into the boss fight. The boss itself wasn't too bad, taking shots from a distance with the spells and staying on defensive mode when the dogs split up. And hey, I even lasted half of the boss fight before running out of FP. But, yet again, oblivious on how to play Recluse, I switched to my magic rapier and went straight into panic mode. I think they're all after me. Okay, dodge the fire. Look, they're behind me! They're behind me, they're everywhere! They are swarming like beetles. Towards the end, I felt brave and decided to use the taunt move that isn't a taunt move, and ended up two-handing the tower shield, which I didn't realise until the very end of the fight, but with the boss defeated, we get the Tricephalus trophy. Why am I two-handing the shield? No wonder I was doing nothing. We did it. We did it. We actually got a trace of night, the qualities of the Nightlord. Alright. After a short cutscene, we get another trophy, the Nightlords, for unlocking the rest of the expeditions bar 1. Oh.
There are others. Too many.
On a failed attempt using the Big Bird, we get the trophy Untold Power for defeating 10 or more great enemies in one expedition. And when playing with my American friends, Ontos and Conlas, I was told how to unlock a new character, the Duchess, giving us the trophy, the Duchess Joins the Fray. Thank you, Ontos.
You can ready up whenever you're...
While at the round table, I decided to try and get the final missing character, the Revenant, so I prepared by buying a new chalice for the Raider, giving us the trophy Vessel, and made my way to her. The fight consists of Revenant casting spells and using her claws up close, with 3 summons constantly attacking you. But by simply hitting her when she gets close, we win, giving us the trophy Revenant Joins the Fray, giving us all playable characters unlocked. I should probably go through these characters as well. Okay, here goes. Revenant uses claws. Her skills allow her to summon 3 ghost family members, including Pumpkinhead, Helen the Pointy Sword Lady, and a giant skeleton with a laser breath. And her ult creates an explosion which keeps her dead family members alive. What a weird sentence. Duchess prefers daggers. Skill allows her to create a ghost version of the enemy for a few seconds, which mimics the damage dealt to said enemy. And her ult, she practices her magician skills and turns the whole team invisible. Got all that? Okay, good. Wait, I already done that. While trying out I from the safety of a bow's range, I play catch up to my teammates where the Omen Raid happens. Raids are events that happen through an expedition, usually given a power up or some sort of reward for completing the raid. With the Omen Raid, Margit shows his ugly face yet again to bully one of the teammates. If the team gets wiped, then you will take extra damage from now on. If you win, then every new discovered grace increases the damage you do. Thankfully, for how bad at the game I was at this point, I was able to shoot arrows from the safety of the cliff above. He then decided to teleport away, which confused the hell out of me, but we found him lower down and finished him off, giving us the Fell Omen trophy. Shortly after, we all died. Moving on to the next one. After coming to the conclusion that I was squishy, and that was the reason I kept dying, totally not a skill issue, I gave Wilder another go, accompanied by my friend Circumference. We went to tackle the Sentient Pest expedition, where we bullied some sleepy bears, and tackled another one of those roaming abominations, followed by some more sleepy bears. When the end of day 1 came, we were ambushed by some creepy finger things, and this is where I was pleasantly surprised when Centipede Demon from Dark Souls 1 showed up, making me fearful that other bosses I struggle with, like Nameless King or Smelter Demon, could show up in the future, but surely not, right? But yeah, just like Dark Souls 1, the Centipede Demon went down without any issues, which brings us to day 2. We fought a magic deer, and this is where me and my friend noticed how in sync we were by dying at this exact same time. Luckily, our other teammate picked us up, and we turned the deer into dead. This is where we get a really good weapon for the run, Sword of Milos, with a purple rarity bleed and an Ash of War that weakens the enemy. The basement had a so-called hero that we obliterated with our hand cannon, and then decided to take out the Crucible Knights minding their own business out front. En route to the Night 2 end zone, we tackle old Maggie for some extra runes, and faced against the Great Worm, who, after a few back and forths, didn't turn out to be so great. Yeah, we beat it easily. With the day 3 boss, you notice a big old butterfly in the air, which must be the boss, right? Just to be jump scared by a chunky scorpion beetle. The boss itself was fairly easy, where I stuck on the beetle's tail dodging its side attacks because it doesn't have a direct behind attack, while the archer does chip damage to the butterfly. I not long after abandoned this plan like an idiot and started swinging for the butterfly, spending most of the time running after it. About halfway through, phase 2 begins with the beetle and the butterfly decide the strongest weapon was actually friendship, as they come together as one. Only to find out there's a stronger weapon, that being the end of my greatsword, and with that, we get the Sentient Pest trophy. We dove straight into the Gaping Jaw expedition, where I decided that Wilder was now my new main. We went to a camp to take out some Banished Knights, where I was given the difficult choice between the Banished Knight's greatsword or the Banished Knight's greatsword. I finally found the entrance to the cave from before and flattened a troll to take his smithing stone too, something needed to upgrade a blue weapon rarity to a purple weapon rarity. Nothing really new to cover on day 1 until the night boss shows up, Big Bad Wormface. I find this boss pretty annoying as he constantly stinks up the place with Deathblight. The gimmick being there are other enemies who drop the resistance for this Deathblight build-up, but it usually ends up with me being flattened by a big old crab off screen. Annoying, but still easily done. On to day 2. Day 2 I spent most of the time trying to keep up with my teammates, showing me that I have indeed not gotten good. But I caught up in time to take on yet another abomination that had taken refuge within the castle basement. We travelled up a new place that I hadn't seen before, the Mounting Top, which is one of the 4 Shattered Earth events holding a secret in each that we would need to do for a few of the trophies, one for each event and one for completing all events. For some reason, we spent a lot of time making gestures at each other and ended up missing the secret completely. Why am I like this? Fun fact, I didn't know how to use the emotes, and none of my friends would tell me how to do it because funny, am I right? Night 2, we had the Commander as a boss, not much to say, he was pretty easy. After upgrading my starter weapon to purple rarity, we made our way into day 3 boss, Adele, Baron of Night. I greeted the boss by saying hello from the other side, which Adele didn't seem too impressed. Luckily, my teammates staggered the boss out of its snack time with me on the menu. This boss is pretty wild with its attacks, but it's weak to poison, hence keeping my starter sword this entire time. And with a few 100 milligrams of poison, we take down the boss, giving us the trophy, Gaping Jaw. By this point, we realised that we had beaten 2 expeditions in a row and decided to go back to the first one to get the trophy for beating 3 in a row. While doing this, we get the trophy Legendary Ornament for equipping a legendary weapon, and also the trophy Set and Steadfast for filling our greedy little pockets with items. We then take down the 3-headed doggo again and get the trophy Nightlord Slayer for defeating 3 different Nightlords in a row. We did the Augur expedition next, where I once again played as Wilder, so I'll just skip to day 3. Wait, what is that? Is that Smelter Demon? Bit of a backstory, Circumference is the one who introduced me to Dark Souls, and when we ran through Dark Souls 2, for some reason I had the worst time fighting it. Skill issue, I know. So I don't think I'm going to be able to do this, guys. I think the video might be over already. How am I? And he's dead. Day 2 was the same as usual, with the Fallen Star Beast as its final boss. Annoying that it's immune to status effects, but we got there in the end. I spent some time daydreaming in day 3 boss fight, until a giant jellyfish ghost appeared, shooting kamikaze jellyfish minions to hunt me down and making me chase it around the boss room a few times, and I thought the butterfly chase was bad. His tactics were highly effective, however, for all the chasing had tired me out, and a well-deserved nap was needed. This repeated for a while until the jellyfish ghost started doing cartwheels across the map in an attempt to wake me up so I can continue chasing it around. But after it decided to cheat by spawning slappy skinny arms, I decided that playtime was over by interrupting nap time with a big old explosion. This didn't go down as well as I planned, as in a fit of rage he decided to drop down a slow moving atomic nuke. This was yet again breaking the rules, so we disqualified the cheater with a well-timed crit, and in doing so achieved the trophy Augur, however you say it. This also got us the trophy Night Begins, unlocking the final boss for defeating 4 expeditions.
The time has come. We now face the primordial Nightlord.
Equilibrious Beast is up next, which in my opinion is one of the toughest bosses we have to fight. He mostly uses madness status effect attacks, but for some reason is also weak to madness, so finding something to proc this is crucial. We came across one of those madness towers, which I believe is a random event that can happen, but isn't trophy related. This was the first and last time I saw this happen. Unfortunately, we were kind of out of time, so I had to skip past this. I then barely get within the acid rain before it claimed me, and took on an abomination for the final boss day 1. We headed over to where the madness tower was, to which we found what we were looking for, Vike's War Spear. Took out another abomination in the basement, found a legendary greatsword, which wouldn't really benefit me against the beast, and made our way to the day 2 night boss, which was the Deathrite Bird. God, I hate this thing. Libra, the final boss, was a lot different to the rest, as he seems to be friendly at first, allowing you to make a deal with him before the fight. These deals consist on giving you something good, with the flip side of a negative attribute. We decided not to make a deal this time, which was finalised with Circumference fire an arrow directly into Libra's manhood. The fight started promising while we spammed Vike's Spear's Ash of War, keeping Libra in a state of madness, which became less effective the more we did it. I also didn't understand how to get him out of his bubble, but we won't talk about that. With both of us with the smallest bit of health remaining, I go for a final attack, to which he bubbled up and made my cool anime moment look rubbish. So I settled on watching from a distance as we secured the victory, giving us the trophy Equilibrious Beast. I decided to sell a bunch of relics that I wasn't going to use, and used the funds to buy a snazzy new costume, unlocking the trophy Dresser. As I mentioned before, there are secrets of shifting earth that we need to find, and on this run we found the Rotted Woods. The premise of this is simple. Deep in the woods, there's a fort with a map which shows where the secret is held. All you have to do is go into the fort, follow the marker on your map, and grab the secret. The downside of this is you will be slowly building up rot throughout until you get this. The secret increases HP, makes you immune to rot, and also allows attacks to gain lost health for a few seconds, just like Bloodborne. This also gives us the Rotten Wood trophy. On another run, we were struck with a curse that took away a large amount of our max HP, and after running towards a strange mark on our map, we found it to be Libra, who after paying a large sum of runes to, breaks the curse and gives a free deal without any drawbacks. I didn't know this and walked away as a skeptical person I am, but this turned out to be one of the raids we were after, and gave us a power that increases our damage depending on how many runes we were holding, giving us the True Arbiter trophy. We jumped into the Dark Drift Night expedition where nothing new happened, so we'll skip to the... Oh, come on, what? Okay, Centaur time. There's really nothing too interesting to say about this fight, mainly delayed attacks, jumping through the air like he's auditioning for one of Santa's reindeers, shooting golden spears from the ground, and once in a while getting the zoomies. Halfway through, he realizes he leaves his good arm at home, and grows a Mario Sunshine Goo replacement. Still, he goes down pretty easy, and we get the Dark Drift Night trophy. I jumped in with some randoms for the Fissure of Fog expedition, where I decided to try out the Recluse again. Nothing of interest happened, except I still don't know how to play as her, and I decided to use the Wrath Bell throughout. The boss itself is a giant icy dragon, so I thought a good fireball to the head would make short work of it. Unfortunately, my character throws as well as I do in real life and completely missed. So I tried out the Kamehameha wave, which the dragon just left. Okay, bro, chill. I decided to stick to the bell and spam the projectiles at his head until he eventually dropped to the ground, giving us the Fissure in the Fog trophy, meaning there was only one more boss to go. During this final expedition, we stumble across the Noklateo Shrouded City Shattered Earth event, which consists on making our way through the city, dodging rocks being thrown by spooky centipedes, past the death frogs, uppercut the Black Blade, up the stairs, and into the coolest room I've seen in Elden Ring yet. You take on Astel in this room, and on defeating it, rewarded with an insanely good staff, with the secret hidden in the back of the room. This secret allows you and your teammates to get up after a team wipe, and is probably the best secret you can get. This also pops the trophy Noklateo the Shrouded City. On the very same run, we get to the final boss, and I assumed due to it being the final boss, it would be something crazy difficult, only to find an old limping man. I of course didn't trust this, and started volleying icy moons at his head until the health bar was no more, thinking that Recluse is the most broken character in the game. Then Phase 2 kicked in, where me and the other Recluse spent a lot of time laying on the floor, but once we gained our composure once more, we once again bombarded the ever-living f*** out of him with Rani's moons. I also unintentionally avoided the cracks in the floor, using the moon spell, which resulted in the final blow, which was pretty sick. This then rewarded us with a handful of trophies all at once, including Night Aspect, which we got for defeating the final boss, Nightlord Conqueror for defeating all of the Nightlords in the game, and also Dawn for reaching the end of the game. This is then followed by returning at a new version of the Round Table, with a cutscene that I am way too stupid to understand. This now leaves us with 10 more trophies, including the Platinum, which consists of cleaning up the events, raids, and a few miscellaneous trophies. The first we get during a match with two random players who were insanely better than myself, which was for getting to level 15, rewarding us with the Mastery Trophy. I then dragged Ontos onto the game and saw that the map had a giant crater in the top center of it, so we went to go investigate. This consisted of several paths going down to the bottom, where we had to fight a magma worm at the end, but me being a great teammate, kinda went to the bottom without showing Ontos the way, which he wasn't too happy about, but we got the win and found the secret of the altar, allowing us to choose any weapon we had and changed it to a legendary, giving us the trophy, the Crater.
What?
It's
There's
not
just lava to the right.
Yeah, but like, can you see like a little campfire kind of thing?
No,
What?
I got a gigantic hand chasing after me. I don't have time.
Okay,
to
keep
stop
going.
And look for sights.
You gotta keep going. It's like towards the end.
I'm at a site of grace.
Yeah, keep
with
going.
A gigantic f***ing hand by me.
Keep going.
Keep going. It's a dead end.
Is it? I thought he could.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, maybe not.
Ah.
I don't know. It's pitch f***ing black, so I can't see where the f*** I'm going.
I'll come.
Fucking bright ass lava everywhere, but it's pitch black where I'm at. Where the fuck are you guys?
1 minute.
Oh my god, you're a mile beneath me. How the fuck?
And he died. Okay, he died. So follow him back, I guess. I think he's gonna come to where you are.
I think I just found you.
Oh, thank fuck! I need the help.
Oh, stay alive for
You
20 seconds.
beautiful bastard. Yes.
Yeah, it only took 8 minutes.
Yeah, that's why it's a secret.
Only took over half of this f***ing run.
That's why it's a secret.
How stupid! Spawn me 3 f***ing miles away from my team. Good game! Why the actual shit? How did he get back here in 20 seconds?
And here is the secret.
Whip and a whip. Those are my f***ing items. Cool. Great. Good. Useful.
Oh no!
Secret. What? The shrine?
I had to put that clip in. It's so good. Definitely check out OnTossD on Twitch and give him a follow and convince him to start streaming again. He's awesome. Anyway, back to the trophy hunting video. On a new run, and as we are running from the enclosing acid rain, bubbles started forming all around us. I didn't realize what these bubbles did and avoided them like my life depended on it, until I saw that my teammates were within one of the larger bubbles. So I wandered in blindly, and inside this bubble we find a far weaker version of the jellyfish ghost we defeated before. And taking him down granted us a power that let our flasks replenish our FP bar as well, but more importantly there was something in the boss's hands, which turned out to be the Typhoon Trophy. Nice! Next up, while searching through some jails looking for an old jail, which as far as I was aware contained only an ancient dragon, we were unlucky enough to get one with a godskin duo lurking within. By this point I was playing as a birdman, as I realised there was a trophy down the line involving beating the Nightlords with every character, which I'm personally not a fan of the birdman, so I ended up dying. As I died, the message for the circle closing came up, so I thought the plan was to bail. Apparently that wasn't the plan, so I headed straight back to finish them off within the acid ring, and aren't I glad I did, because apparently the duo count as an old jail, giving us the trophy, Old Jail. With all these attempts looking for raids, I was able to buy all the grails etc. from the shop, giving the trophy obtained vessels. And was not surprised that Birdman was the last win I needed for a champion's path for beating Nightlords with all characters. By this point, I had spent countless hours playing this game, waiting for the missing raid and the event to happen. And finally, the mountaintop showed up. I was so excited to see this, I didn't want to take any chances and became a terrible teammate, running off like a child in a supermarket. In vintage milk fashion, I went the completely wrong way, but somehow just scrambled up any wall I could find, and with the circle closing in, I finally made it to the top and found the secret of the mountaintop, giving you more resistance to frost buildup and frost damage, which also gave us the mountaintop trophy, and also the shift in earth trophy for finding all the secrets. Some of you may die. That's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Shrek 2. The final trophy probably took longer to get than all the other trophies combined, which was the Pest Raid. As I seen it once on my first ever playthrough, and then I never saw it again. But then I found out that if you get a map with these 3 specific areas on the map, then it would spawn in. So I spent about an hour starting solo, restarting, until I eventually found it. I was kind of worried by this point because the information I found said that it would spawn in a lot earlier than it did, but it did spawn eventually, so I was... The premise is to basically follow the locusts that sap your levels from you, and eventually you'll find a weaker version of the butterfly. Once you squash this bug, you gain the power which allows you to randomly gain 10,000 runes from hitting an enemy, a stupidly broken reward, and I ended up with probably 350,000 spare at the end of the run. But this gives us the trophy Plague of Locusts, and finally, after 80 plus hours, we have got the platinum! Whew! And just like that, Nightreign has been done and platinumed. I just want to say yet again, thank you so much for everyone that's come through in the other videos. I'm hoping that you enjoyed this video again. If so, let me know. I do have another similar video idea for Elden Ring itself. I'm also, like I said before, getting onto the Fear and Hunger video, and a few more of the games that you guys have suggested in the comments and everything. But yeah, I just wanted to end this with saying thank you so much, hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you next time. Take care, guys.